Hi everyone, it's Lucy here from LEaF Translations. I hope we're all doing okay in this slightly crazy time that we're all managing to get through. Yeah, it's very strange at the moment, isn't it? I'm at home, working from home, got my two young children here as well. They would normally be at school, they're 4 and 7, so trying to balance running a business, translating with homeschooling, which is proving to be quite interesting, but there we go. Anyway, I just wanted to check in with everyone. I haven't done a video for quite a long time, and I thought it would be a good opportunity to tell you all about what's been happening. So last time I recorded a video was 2 years ago. I had all these good intentions of doing regular live videos and doing lots of stuff on Facebook and social media. And then obviously life kind of got in the way, and I was doing a lot of translation work and struggled really to find the time to do videos. But I'm hoping to get back into it and publish a bit more content. You might have seen on the Facebook page that we've set up an Instagram account for LEaF now. So the name is Poetry by LEaF. So that's going to contain some poems. I really like writing poems, so it's going to contain some of those if you're interested in reading some English poetry. The quality you can decide for yourself, but yeah, I figured I like writing poetry. Maybe some people will like reading them, who knows. So check that out. There'll also be other information and interesting things on there, hopefully. So follow us on that. And what else? Yeah, so the main news really is that LEaF Translations is now no longer just a German to English translation company. So we've started working together with some fantastic expert translators in working other language combinations so that we can offer really high quality, really fantastic translations in other languages as well. So we're focusing on the European languages to start with. So we can do German, German to English, English to German, and then we've got French translation, so English to French, French to English, French to German, German to French, and other combinations, and then Spanish, Italian, Dutch, and Russian. I think that's all of them. Oh, Portuguese as well. So we're now able to offer translations in these other languages. And the idea is that we'll be able to work with some of the fantastic companies in York. York is a tourist town, city really. Tourism is its main source of income. And there's lots of companies that only have English language websites. So we want to help them to attract more international customers. Because one of the key things that people don't often think about is that to be found on Google in different languages, you need to include the search terms in the foreign languages on your website. Otherwise, people won't find you when they're looking. So, for example, someone's searching in Google in Germany. If they're looking for accommodation in York, they wouldn't type accommodation in York, they'd type Unterkunft in York. And if your website doesn't contain that search term, you won't show up. It's quite simple. The same obviously works with products and services as well. So we want to, by providing translations into different languages, we want to help businesses in York and elsewhere as well, of course, to reach more international customers with really high quality translations. And I just want to make it clear, the translation industry, I have a lot of issues with it. A lot of big translation agencies work on the model that they have a network of hundreds of translators in all different countries, and they basically send work to probably the cheapest they can find. They may proofread it, but essentially they work very much on a charge high, pay low kind of method. I don't agree with this as a way of working. I want to work with translators who I trust, who I know, who are very experienced, well qualified, and who have been recommended by other translators, so that there's a real sense that these are real professionals at the top of their game and that I trust will do a really good job. That's also why we're limiting the languages to just those main European languages at the moment. That may change in the future, but for now we're going to start small. We don't want to sort of say we can do every language, any language combination, and then if we get an inquiry and then it's something like, quick, we need a translator to do this language combination, and then just find any random person. I don't think that's really a good way to do business. So yeah, so we've got this pool of expert translators. A lot of them are based in Yorkshire. Excuse me, just having a quick drink. A lot of them are based in Yorkshire. Some of them are based in York. Yeah, so it's an exciting new stage in the LEaF journey, and I'm really excited about working with these great translators and giving them work. The main things before I start working with any of them, I tell them very much what LEaF is about we want to be an ethical business. We are here to we want to do good, basically. We're here to have a positive impact. We're not driven by money. That's not the main motivation with LEaF. It's more about providing a really good service, something that we can be really proud of, and having a positive impact, and showing that business can be ethical, and that it's about helping each other. I think especially at the moment with COVID, coronavirus, and how it's really having a really tragic impact on a lot of people's lives. On other people's lives, it's making it really difficult, and there is a real strong sense of community and people coming together to help. And I really hope that is something that continues once the pandemic is over, and that people continue working together. And I also hope that will kind of filter through to the business community. I mean, there are a lot of businesses who are like that already, but there are also a lot of businesses who just take what they can get, make as much money as possible, and they're basically just in it for the shareholders to make as much money as possible at whatever expense. And I really hope that one of the positives to come from this is that there's more of a sense of helping each other and building positive communities and relationships, rather than it just being this capitalist sort of dog-eat-dog world. And that, so sort of linked onto that, another great new thing that LEaF is now offering is we do proofreading services. And one of the things that small local businesses, or just any local business, any business really, to be fair, might want to use at this time. So the time, because people are getting less work through, maybe they've got more time on their hands, maybe they've got more time to take a step back from their business. With that in mind, it's a good time to reflect on your marketing materials, on your website. Perhaps you're writing new pages for your website. And sometimes it can be really helpful to just have someone else to take an objective look at what you've created, about how it comes across, to check through your website, make sure all the links work, see if maybe you could add a touch of colour or change a font, maybe something's a bit tricky to read. So that's really what the LEaF content audit is all about. So it's a service that takes a look through your website and checks, firstly, to make sure that the grammar's all correct, and that there's no spelling mistakes or typos, but also to check the links and the overall design and the overall look, and just to provide some objective feedback. So that's something that I hope will be really helpful for local businesses, and just people who, like I say, are using this time in a positive way to reflect on their marketing and to try and maybe enhance what they're putting out there. Next, there's a lot of news to get through. Sorry, this ends up being really long. Another quick drink. The next thing I'm quite excited to announce is that we've published a LEaF style guide. So even though I've been working as a translator since 14 years, that's quite a long time, that makes me feel quite old, but so I've been working as a translator for 14 years, and even now when I'm translating, I sometimes find myself, there's certain grammatical things that I always have to look up, and I just keep thinking it'd be really useful if there was a really easy to read, quick reference guide for these main grammatical questions or things that I have to check not every time, but regularly, to make sure that I'm writing it the right way. So for example, it can be how you format bullet lists, so whether you use capital letters at the beginning of a bullet point, whether you write punctuation at the end of bullet points. It could be, I don't know, when to use capital letters. It could be how to spell certain words, which is the English spelling and which is the American spelling. So I've basically put together the LEaF style guide, which is, it puts all this information into one very easy to read, quick reference document that you can download for free from the LEaF website. There will also be some hard copies available soon. And and it's the idea is just to help people write correct English and to make it easier to write really good quality copy. So yeah, that's also quite exciting. And finally, last but very much not least, sorry this has gone on quite a long time, it is, let me think, almost forgot it. Oh yes, so LEaF Translations is now fully carbon neutral. So those of you that know me personally will know that I'm quite passionate about the environment, about trying to reduce our carbon impact. And myself and my husband both went vegan at the beginning of, not this year, last year. We used to be massive meat eaters, and then I started listening to the Deliciously Ella podcast. I don't know if any of you have listened to that. It's really interesting if you want to have a listen. And she's vegan, and she talks quite a lot about veganism. Well, she sells cookbooks which focus on vegan food, so it kind of fits in with her message and her marketing quite well. But so she was talking about the impact that meat has on the environment, so the carbon impact of meat and dairy as well. And I listened to this episode and I was just like, it just blew my mind. I was like, maybe we should try being vegan. Thinking, oh, we'll do Veganuary and just see how we get on. So we did, and actually we found it really easy, and it kind of freaked me out a bit because eating meat has always been quite a big part of my identity. And yeah, and we just like, actually this is really easy now. We drink oat milk instead of dairy milk. We still eat sausages and burgers, but we just eat the vegan versions, which some of them are disgusting, I'll admit. But there are some that are really nice and actually taste very similar to meat burgers, which makes you think a lot of burgers, the thing that you actually taste isn't the meat, it's like the oil and all the other random stuff they put in to make them taste like that. So that's something we've learned. So these burgers that we like aren't necessarily healthy in any way, but they do taste a lot like meat burgers. So, you know, every once in a while, that's good for me. Sorry, excuse me, another quick drink. So yes, so basically, been vegan ever since. We switched to an electric car last year. I make my own deodorant. I don't think I've written a post about that elsewhere, which I can share if anyone's interested. Basically really just try to reduce our impact on the environment. We try and buy, well, obviously avoid plastic bags, use reusable cups for coffee, use a reusable water bottle, try and walk and cycle wherever possible, etc, etc. I'm sure there's more things, can't think of them off the top of my head. Anyway, so it really made sense to make LEaF Translations carbon neutral as soon as possible. So we've teamed up with this fantastic organisation called Offset Earth, and their aim is to, if they can get as many people signed up to them as signed up to Netflix, there's some like, they've produced this amazing graphic. I should probably have read through it before I started doing this video so I could actually tell you some facts and figures that are interesting and correct. Anyway, basically, their aim is to work with as many people as possible. They plant trees. They fund conservation projects all across the world, mainly in third world countries. I don't even know if you can say that anymore. Countries in Africa, Asia, where there's lots of disadvantaged people. So replacing their stoves with stoves that don't produce loads of smoke, that are a lot more efficient. Planting trees. Using solar panels, there's loads of examples. Anyway, so we fund Offset Earth, and then they fund all these conservation and tree planting projects. And we've got a page on the Offset Earth website where you can see how many trees we've planted, how many trees are in the LEaF forest, which is quite cool. So yeah, go check that out. It's something that we're really proud to be having a positive impact. And obviously the more people we work with, the more, as we grow, we can increase the amount that we give to Offset Earth. That means we can increase our impact, plant more trees, and the plan is also in the future, we want to start supporting charities. That is something in the pipeline, working on that. That's something for the future when we hit a certain amount of clients, etc. We'll be able to do more about that. But so for now, yeah, Offset Earth, they're really great. Have a look at them if you haven't heard of them already, and check out LEaF's page, our little forest that's growing. Yes, I think that is everything. That was quite a lot. I hope I haven't just said far too much far too quickly. Anyway, so it's really nice to check in, and I hope everyone is doing okay. I know it's really weird. I'm going, like, some days I'm really positive. I'm like, yay, we have time. The weather's nice. We can do this nice stuff. Really full of enthusiasm for the homeschooling and managed to balance getting some work done as well. And then other days, oh, I'm just like, oh my goodness, how long is this going to last? But it's fine. We are, as long as we're healthy and safe and we're doing the best we can, then I think that's really all we can do at the moment. Support each other, not put too much pressure on ourselves, one day at a time, and try and stay positive. Okay, on that note, take care everyone, and I will see you soon. Okay, bye.